Okay. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Mr. Phillips. Um, Good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody had a awesome day today, a blessed day. I really hope you didn't let any negative energy come in and ruin your day or steal your joy. And if you did, just take a moment and regroup. I want to start out by saying I apologize for yesterday. If I came off a bit strong, I knew that I felt some kind of way. I didn't realize that I would express it in such a way. But I will say this, I am the first to say that I am not perfect. So I am not perfect, and all because God is have made a choice to use me does not mean that I am flawless. It does not mean that He is through with me. He still has work to do on me, with me. So please know that I am work in progress. And I guess that's, I guess that's a good thing, for you guys to see that it does not, necessarily mean that when God uses someone that, that His work is done with them and that He is, He's finished and they are considered to be, a perfect creature. I'm not a perfect creature. And I don't believe, there are perfect creatures out there, so to speak, as to where, a man is free of sin. So I am that example. If nobody else chooses to be, I am that example where you get to see, that yes, the Lord is using me, but He is also not done with me yet. So if you see me, slip up, or you see me in my, in a moment of me demonstrating an imperfection, or you hear me say something that is not of, not of, I would say, godlike, that is not godly approved or what have you, then again, like I said, I'm still work in progress, but God does use imperfect people. So please be aware of that. So for those of you that keep sharing with the Lord, not yet, not yet, not yet, and you know that you have a mission and you know that you have an assignment and you know that there is something that you are supposed to be doing because the Lord keeps tapping you on your shoulder or whispering in your ear, get to it, but you keep saying, oh, not yet, not yet. I'm not ready quite yet, Lord. I haven't got my life together quite yet. Or you keep having ministers or people coming up to you, sharing with you that, they can see that you have a gift and you continue to put it off because you feel like the Lord is not through with you yet. Well, as I share with you again, I am being used by the Lord and I am not perfect. So again, I'm going to say it. The Lord uses imperfect people. So don't feel like you need to have all your ducks in a row and you have to have this and you have to have that. Do it as you go. Allow the Lord to use you. Allow the Lord to order your steps. And He will correct whatever is wrong with you and He will make it right. And as long as you stay close and up under Him, you too will feel some kind of way when you make your mistakes. And you will be quick to try and make those things right. And so that's one of the reasons I am here apologizing if I came across strong last night, because like I said, I knew that I felt some kind of way, but I wasn't expecting me to just, deliver it or share it the way I shared it. So please do, please do forgive me. And just remember, I'm still work in progress. I'm being used and I thank the Lord for using me. But I'm not perfect. And I will never, claim to be perfect, especially in my imperfect stages. I heard someone say once before, and I said I was going to own it. I was going to adopt it until I get to where I know I need to be with the Lord. And that was that they said that they are not sinless, they just sin less. And so that is, that's where I'm at in my life. I am not sinless, but I do sin less. I don't do, things that I used to do and things like that. And so, and I try and be consciously aware, of my behavior and the things that I say and how I, conduct myself and stuff. And so, but it still doesn't make me perfect. So if I offended anyone or if I disrespected anyone on yesterday by my tones, then please do forgive me. But I also want to add to that people would like to think that you are responsible for the people that join your page. My page is an open page. So there's no telling who's on my page. There's no telling what their little wonderful personalities may display on their own personal page. But just like with my, with my Lord and my Father up in heaven, I am responsible for myself. I am not responsible for anyone else. So if anyone else is on my wonderful page and they're living to how they choose to, that is by their choice. I am not responsible for them. So if you choose to judge me by the people that I accept, as friends, because the Bible, not the Bible, I'm sorry, my pastor always say, in order to make friends, you must show yourself friendly. And so I never had him to share with me that you turn away, individuals when they're trying to befriend you. I never had my pastor to say that to me. So with that being said, when I do receive friend requests, I do not go and I don't, look through their pages and everything. So if you see something, that's on my page, somehow connected by way of of an associate or whatever, or one of these Facebook family members, I'm not responsible for what, they post. And I'm not judging them on what they post. So, with them adding or being added to my page, God bless them all the same. So, in regards to you, to the ones that do pick and choose, who you let, on your page or what have you, then, God bless you all the same. But please try to refrain from judging me based off of what my other Facebook family do. They have the right to live their lives as they choose, and I don't judge them. I'm sorry, they're here because they choose to be, and they're here because they want to, I guess, know what's going on or whatever it is that they want, but that's their choice. Anyway, we're going to move away from that. I did want to, share that all because people post things on their pages or it's associated with my page doesn't mean that I condone it, doesn't mean that I'm against it. It just means that that's just how they represent themselves, or that's just how they express themselves. And I'm okay with that. I'm not judging them. And I'm not going to, delete them because of it. That's their choice. And it's a part of how this wonderful world is. People are unique and they're different and they think different. They like different. It is what it is, you guys. We can't hate people for who they are. We were made unique. We were made to think unique. We were made to look uniquely different. We were made to behave uniquely different. So we have to accept that. We should accept that. We should grow to accept that. I was listening to the radio and I heard that Hutchison wanted to do a program that desegregated, a group of individuals. And I thought, wow, really? You want to desegregate a group of individuals as though you're doing something that is going to help these wonderful people, as you're doing something that is going to make them stronger. Let me tell you about desegregation. First of all, for those of you that love the Lord, I hate to pass out this memo that, in heaven, I don't believe they have different categories. I don't believe they have a, a white heaven and a black heaven and a, um, all these different groups that are, that our wonderful world is being divided into. Asians, Japanese, Chinese. We have one heaven to get to. And so we need to start here on earth trying to get together and get along together, because I don't think the Lord is going to let y'all cause hell up in heaven over the tones of people's skin, or over the dislikes or the likes of how people look. So I think you best to start trying to get it together down here, because if you don't get it together down here, you ain't gonna even make it up there. I mean, I'm just being real with you. And in regards to wanting to desegregate, kids and children, you're doing them a dissatisfaction, because first of all, you're crippling them. Because once you isolate them from other children that are maybe not as educated as them, or may not speak like them, or may not look like them, or may not learn like them, you're basically putting them in a culture shock when they graduate, or when they decide to have to come together once again with those same individuals and be able to function around them. You've created a dysfunction with them. You've actually handicapped them. It is being able to, to grow and to thrive in environments that are different than yourself. Being able to overcome those challenges and those obstacles and get along with those individuals, and being able to grow while you're around those individuals. Being able to work out any social challenges while you're trying to learn and strengthen yourself. So taking those babies and separating them, and then one day deciding to bring them back together, or letting them grow up, and then they come out of high school or come out of college, and then they're trying to go into these different communities and say that they're like them, or they understand them, whoever they are. No, you don't understand. You wasn't there when we was growing up. You couldn't even hold conversation because somebody isolated you. Somebody pulled you out of the very environment that you should have been in, that you should have had the opportunity to learn more about, more about who I am, more about what I'm going through. You should have had the opportunity to learn how to talk. Let me share with you what I did to my children. I live in California, in a community where there's predominantly Asians and whites. But I took my babies, and we went and we threw parties. We took food over to the parks in Oakland. They went over there, and I let them out the car. You get out the car. I didn't go and I didn't say, okay, baby, this is my child. No, no, no. You go. And I let them out the car to go and play. I let them out the car so they can go and learn how to communicate, learn how to get along with other children. And I did it also in other communities. That's what you do. You want your children to thrive. You want to thrive in other communities. Then you get your wonderful self out there and you go to other communities. You go put your children out there in other communities. You let them meet other individuals. You let them deal with their barriers. You let them deal with their challenges. So then that way they won't be so scared of people when people walk up against them that are different or that are unique, from who they are, from what they know. That's how you teach children to grow. That's how you encourage children to grow. You don't go and isolate them. You're not doing them any good whatsoever. You're not doing them any good, and you're hurting the community. Because when you get them out there in the community, what happens? You have a divided community. We don't live in a divided community. Because I don't care if you live down the street, around the corner, or 3 houses down, or 10 houses down. Eventually, you're going to walk up in the grocery store and you're going to have to shop in the same place. You're going to have to pump gas from the same place. You're going to have to, see what I mean? You're going to be sharing resources. So why not teach our children early on to get along and to learn how to socialize and learn how to grow and thrive in these communities just as they are, rather than trying to go and desegregate different programs and cripple your children and cripple your community and cripple your neighborhood. It's a domino effect. Yeah, it may work right there, wherever it's at, right in that building, right in that wonderful building where you're wanting to desegregate. That's where it's going to work, right there. But when they walk outside that door, it's a different ball game. And I guarantee you, children who has had the opportunity to be around other children in comparison to those children that were isolated, why do you think children in charter schools and in private schools, why do you think they want to be in public schools so bad? Because they realize it's a disadvantage. It's a disadvantage. They go out to public places, skating rinks, to the mall. They go out to different places out in the real world, and they don't understand. They don't fit. Separation don't fit. We are here together. So you have to learn how to make it work together. So for the wonderful people that think that separation is going to be good, try and get to heaven on that path and see where that's going to get you. Sorry, don't know why I had to go there, but anyway, let's get back on track. So my scripture today comes from, actually my scripture comes from 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And the reason I chose this scripture is because I want, and I'm specifically talking to this one person, because there's this person that's involved in this situation that reached out to me. And I want them to know that in spite of everything, that I still love you. I do. I love you, and I am praying for you. And I hope that you make some decisions that are right for you, and learn how to, get away from everything else, block it out, pray, and ask the Lord to guide you, to order your steps and give you what to say and how to say it when you have to go before the people you have to go before. Ask the Lord, if you still feel so nervous and anxious about it, ask the Lord to speak through you. But take it to the Lord first. And like I said, I chose the scripture because I want you to know that God is love. He's not temporary love. He's not occasional love or love because of. He's love in spite of. He loves you in spite of your imperfections. Just like he loves me, he loves you too. And he has not turned his back on you. He has not forgotten you. You have to turn around and you have to face him and you have to walk towards him. And when you do that, then you make sure that you pray. And you make sure that with that prayer, that you start believing and walking with him. And he would hold you so tight. And he will comfort you. He will heal you. He will transform you, even in the midst of everything that you're going through. But you have to turn around and you have to face him. You guys excuse me just a second, please. Z. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, brother. So I have to open the door for my wonderful brother. I apologize for that. Okay, so as I was sharing, just stay prayed up. stay prayed up, and do what you got to do, and make the decisions you need to make for you. You can't, whoever these people are that are directing you or that you found yourself in the midst of, you can't worry about what their decisions are, because you cannot take them to heaven, or hell with you. The decisions in regards to, how the Lord himself judge you, that's going to be between you and the Lord when you stand before him on Judgment Day. So do what you need to do for you, and just know I'm praying for you. So you guys, there were still some other things that I was going to talk about from the, or that I could have talked about from the crash incident report. Like, for example, they had another writing on the back page, where the officer came out and he shared that, my brother was deceased or whatever. However, the thing was that I noticed is that Butterfield, it didn't mention Butterfield at all. It didn't mention Butterfield pronouncing that my brother was dead, nothing. So I was, definitely wondering what happened to Butterfield during that situation. When was he called? It talked about how other officers were called, but it didn't talk about how the wonderful coroner was called and when he arrived and when he actually pronounced the death. So I could have talked about other things, but unfortunately, for those of you that was watching, you seen I kind of got somewhat in my feelings and kind of just set the papers aside. But needless to say, we're going to just go ahead and move on. And actually, I'm not going to stay on here long because it is Thanksgiving. So you guys, I hope and pray that you guys enjoy those babies while you guys have them to yourself. Spend lots and lots of time with them. Sit them down. Share some of your favorite, foods with them, or what your favorite foods was, when you were little, and the things that you like to do or appreciated most, around Thanksgiving time. Cook something with your children. Make some cupcakes with those girls. Boys prefer to lick the bowl with the icings and stuff, but do something fun for Thanksgiving. While you have this time with your children. I'm not going to say yet if I'm going to do anything live during the Thanksgiving. My brother comes in and he's putting a trash bag in the trash can and stuff, so please excuse the sound in the background. Love a man that helps out. But I'm not going to say yet if I am going to go live or whatever during the Thanksgiving holiday, because I really don't, I'm really not for sure just yet. So you guys will just have to play that by ear. But what I'm going to, like always, I'm going to upload these images on the page. On my page once I finish here. But you guys, what we're going to look at here is, we're going, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Let's see. Let me figure out how it looks first. First of all, what I noticed is that in printing, when I go to print the images, I usually just print them, download them on my phone and print them. But today, the images came out so crappy, and I ended up printing one from, in the middle of the app, and the app printed much, much better. So for those of you that are actually printing your own copies off, then you probably want to print from the app, because the app seems like it prints much better, especially at Walgreens. So just so you know. Okay, so let's see if we can even do anything with this. Remember, the red dots is where you're supposed to be looking. Where is let me get my master picture. Pictures everywhere. Okay, so okay, here we go. No, brother, will you please go look on my bed and see if I left images? Well, maybe I can use this. Never mind. Maybe okay, this is it. I'm good. Thank you. Okay. So remember, the red dots are the locations of the images that we're supposed to be looking at. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. I hope you can, but I don't know. But here we go. Let's see. If you zoom in over here, this red dot here, there is a beautiful, beautiful. Can you do me a favor and turn that light off? Let me see if it, no, middle. Yes, let me see if this, I don't know if that's going to help neither. No, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I don't think that's going to help either. Let's turn that back on a little. Okay, so, but anyway, over here at this first dot, there is a beautiful, beautiful black dog, and you wouldn't even notice it. It's actually between, let's try and look at it on here. I don't know if you guys can see it over here. Right here. It's actually between that car and that car and that white line. And it actually looks, if you're looking at the image here, it actually looks just like just a black image. So you can't see it at all. That's one of those ways the Lord works. But you can't see it at all. But if you actually, I did two crops from the top of the car to the bottom of the car to right along here, all the way as far as I could towards the white line. And after I did my two crops, then I went to my photo, and I did the max on the light. And when I did that, I was able to see the black dog over there. But it's a really nice big size black dog. But that's one of the images. So I don't know if anybody, will recognize that wonderful dog. But also right here where you see the little scribbles at, or I'm just gonna call them little scribbles, the little lines in this little area right here. There's a face there. That's reflecting there. And I want to say that may be the dog's owner. Let me see if we can get it to show at all on here. And it's probably not. I don't know. It's so dark. But let's see. Right where that red dot is, you guys. I'm trying to see if I can get the camera to focus on it. Where is it? Okay, it's on that side. Yeah, I don't know if I can get it to, let me see another one. Let's see. Let me put this light back on and see if that's going to help. You guys are probably going to have a better, yeah, this is, let's see. But anyway, it's right where the red dot is. So if you manage to zoom, and she looks like a very beautiful older lady. But if you're able to, I don't know if you're able to see her at all. I can barely even, yeah, I can barely even see her with this. So hopefully when I upload the image, you guys will be able to see her better. But at any rate, the person you can't see it, Tracy? Yeah. Hopefully when I upload it, you guys can see it better. Or you guys can play around with it and see if you guys can get her to come out. But needless to say, this, I don't know if you guys see the little red dot over here. This is what we're working on now, is Well, you can't. Well, it's a really, really red dot back here far in the distance. This really sucks tonight, you guys. Let's see here. There's a yeah. There's a red dot here far in the distance. Back here is red, but needless to say, that red dot is what I'm working on now. I'm trying to see if I can pull out from the image exactly what vehicle it is, but that is another vehicle on site. And actually, this is like the light on that vehicle. This is actually that red dot zoomed in on or cropped. So I'm working on that now. And so hopefully we can try and see if at all we can get a video. I really hate these pictures are like this, you guys, and I really hope that when you guys get an upload of them, that your guys are able to see it. I would say this, when you do open it, and that's another thing I meant to share with you guys. Remember, these pictures, these images are from a night image. They're from a dark image. So they're not going to be the greatest pictures, but when you do get them, if you can't see what we're discussing in the video with the light on, then please go to the bathroom or somewhere in a dark space or whatever and look at them, because there are sometimes, I think that last one was upside down. There's sometimes you're better able to see them if, okay, I'll look at it. There's some of these images come out much better in the dark. So make sure you're checking with the light on and with the dark, with the light off. And you may have to, manipulate it and do, a little bit grayer versus, much lighter as far as the dark and everything. So you probably have to cup your hands over it. But keep looking and you'll see. You said the tail light was up. Oh, the tail light was upside down. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's just the tail light still. You guys are I'm gonna upload it anyway. So, and you can't even see you can't even see it on here. So, but okay, I'm gonna upload it in just a moment so you guys will be able to get to see it close up. Definitely look at the lady. She has some really nice features, and I'm wondering if anyone would be able to recognize her and her wonderful dog. Like I said, it's a pretty big dog. The lady she's very photogenic. But at any rate, I'll upload these so you guys can take a look at them and go to your, like I said, go to your own phones and download go back to your raw image and bring it to your, to the specs that works best for your eyes. So go look at it and try and adjust it to whatever specifications that are going to work better for you to view the images. Like I said, with the dog image, to be able to see that, and then you're going to see in front of him, it looks like some feet or something. And I'm just thinking that that's just a reflection of the lady that could potentially be that person's feet that's standing there. But anyway, so we have more images to come, but this is what we're going to be working on. And like I said, if anybody is getting the images much clearer than I am, please, please, please go ahead, message me or send me over a copy of it. Or if you want, you can upload it and tag it to my page, if you will, whatever works best for you. To that person, like I said, stay prayed up, praying for you. And to the rest of you guys, I'm praying for you guys too. Love you guys. Good night.